In this clip, we're going to get some practice in using our graphing calculators to solve financial problems that deal with compound interest. That's because the graphing calculator has a really handy little program to help you with these problems called a TVM Solver. TVM stands for time, value, and money. So if you don't have your graphing calculator handy, you might want to just pause the clip now and go grab it, and because later on I'm going to get you to try your own practice problem on the right using your graphing calculator. Okay, let me show you how to use the TVM solver for a couple of compound interest questions. Samir invested $500 at 6% per year, compounded quarterly. What will the investment be worth after 3 years? Okay, this is a pretty standard compound interest question. You can see it's got the amount of money that somebody started off with, sometimes called the principal or present value. It's also got an interest rate, 6% per year. It has the compounding periods, quarterly. And remember, quarterly means 4 times per year. It's also got the time frame that we're talking about. In this case, the interest is growing for 3 years. And the question is asking for the future value, how much money will be in the account after 3 years. All right, let's bring in our TVM solver for this. Here's my graphing calculator. I'm going to need the application, the TVM application. So I'm looking for the apps button right here. And I'll hit that once. And I have a series of financial applications. So I'll just hit enter because it's already highlighted. I want the TVM solver, which is already highlighted as number 1. So I'll hit enter again. And now it's got all of the variables that we can punch in. The first one flashing is N. It's the number of years that the investment is growing. Well, that's given as 3 in the question. So I'll type in a 3 and hit enter. I is the interest rate given as a percent. No need to convert to decimal here. I can just punch in the number I see there, which is 6. That's great. PV is the present value, or the principal. In that case, it's $500. It's the amount that we start off with. So I'll punch in 500. Payment, most of our problems don't involve a payment, so I'm going to leave that as 0 and just skip it. I'll hit enter. Future value, well, that's what we're actually looking for in the question. That's the unknown. Leave a 0 wherever you have an unknown, and we'll come back and solve that later. I just hit enter. Payments per year, I'm just going to leave that as 1 because it's one lump payment that's been put into the bank. Usually that'll just stay as a 1. Then I'll hit enter. This is the number of times that the investment is compounded per year. Remember, it's quarterly, so it's compounded 4 times per year. Now I'm going to scroll up to my unknown. I'm looking for future value in this case. I'm trying to find out what the investment will be worth after 3 years. To solve, I hit alpha, and I should see an A flashing right where it's about to solve the equation for me. Then if I just hit enter, voila, there's my answer. The reason there's a negative in front of the number is because that's money that we can't access yet. Anytime we can't touch the money, the graphing calculator, the TVM solver, puts a negative in front of it. Try and remember that. So that's really all there is to it. The final value will be $597.81. So I'll just write that down. So after 3 years, the investment has grown almost $100 from $500 to $597.81. Let's have a look at one more problem using the TVM solver. Chin Lee invests $7,500 today at 5.5% per year, compounded semi-annually. After how many years will he have enough to buy a $9,000 motorcycle? All right, let's go for it. Let's bring in our calculator one more time. And I'm going to get to the TVM solver by hitting apps, then enter on finance, then enter on TVM solver. Now we have to enter in our knowns and unknowns. N, number of years. Well, the question asks after how many years, so that's my unknown. I'm solving for the number of years that Chin Lee's going to have to wait before he can buy that nice motorcycle. So I'm going to leave that as 0. The interest rate is given as 5.5, and I'll just type that number straight in. Then I'll hit enter. Present value, he's investing $7,500. payment I'll leave as 0. The future value, well, he wants eventually to have $9,000. That's the future value. Now here's a problem. Always make sure that for your future value, since it's money that we can't touch, we need to enter it as a negative. If you don't do that, you'll get an error and the calculator won't be able to help you. Compounding periods, well, it's compounded semi-annually. That means twice per year, so I'll enter a 2 in there. Now I'm going to scroll up to my unknown, the number of years. I'll hit alpha, so I get a flashing A. Then I hit enter. And there's my answer, roughly 3.4 years. I guess good things come to those who wait. That's a long time to wait for a motorcycle. There you go. There's 2 examples of using the TVM solver. Now get your calculator ready because you can try your own. Let's see if you can get the right answer for this problem. Maria deposited $1,000 into an account paying interest at 4% per year, compounded monthly. How long will it take for the money to grow to $1,500? Okay, so try that one out on your own with your own TVM solver, and I'll post the answer when you're ready. Turns out Maria is going to have to wait a long time, 10 years. And there's our answer flashing right there. If you didn't get 10 years, have a look at our variables here and make sure you entered everything in correctly. The compounding periods were 12 because it's compounded monthly. Also, make sure you entered your future value as a negative $1,500. 10 years.